Which passages in the KJV Book of Revelation deal with the rainbow-headed angel? In the KJV Book of Revelation, the rainbow-headed angel is described in Revelation 10:1-7. Here are the relevant passages. Revelation 10:1, And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. Revelation 10:2, And he had in his hand a little book open, and he set his right foot upon the sea, and his left foot on the earth. Revelation 10:3, And cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roareth, and when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. Revelation 10:4, And when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not. Revelation 10:5, And the angel which I saw stand upon the sea and upon the earth lifted up his hand to heaven. Revelation 10:6, And swear by him that liveth for ever and ever, who created heaven, and the things that therein are, and the earth, and the things that therein are, and the sea, and the things which are therein, that there should be time no longer. Revelation 10:7, But in the days of the voice of the 7th angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of God should be finished, as he hath declared to his servants the prophets. These passages describe the appearance and actions of the mighty angel with a rainbow upon his head, who descends from heaven holding an open little book. The angel stands with one foot on the sea and the other on the earth, symbolizing his authority over both realms. He cries out with a loud voice, causing 7 thunders to utter their voices, though John is instructed not to record what they say. The angel then raises his hand to heaven, swearing by the eternal God, and declares that there will be no more delay in the fulfillment of God's mystery as declared to the prophets. This is my own commentary. The book of Revelation continues beyond verse 7. I shall include these below. 8 And the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again, and said, Go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. 9 And I went unto the angel, and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it, and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. 10 And I took the little book out of the angel's hand, and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey, and as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. 11 And he said unto me, Thou must prophesy again before many peoples, and nations, and tongues, and kings. Are there further references to the rainbow-headed angel? In the KJV Book of Revelation, the passages related to the rainbow-headed angel are contained within Revelation 10:1-7. There are no further references to the rainbow-headed angel in the Book of Revelation. Are there other references to rainbows in the KJV Bible? Yes, there are other references to rainbows in the KJV Bible. Here are some of them. Genesis 9:13-16, I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud, and I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. Ezekiel 1:28, As the appearance of the bow that is in the cloud in the day of rain, so was the appearance of the brightness round about. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. And when I saw it, I fell upon my face, and I heard a voice of one that spake. Revelation 4:3, And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone, and there was a rainbow round about the throne, in sight like unto an emerald. These references portray the rainbow as a symbol of God's covenant with humanity, His glory, and His presence. It serves as a reminder of His promises and faithfulness throughout the Bible. Are there more references to rainbows in the KJV Bible? Yes, there are a few more references to rainbows in the KJV Bible. Revelation 10:1, and I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. Revelation 4:3, and he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone, and there was a rainbow round about the throne, in sight like unto an emerald. These references in the book of Revelation also depict the rainbow as a symbol of divine glory and presence, particularly in heavenly visions. What is the meaning of the symbolism behind the rainbow-headed angel in the book of Revelation? The symbolism of the rainbow-headed angel in the book of Revelation is rich with meaning, drawing from various biblical motifs and themes. Here are some interpretations of the symbolism behind the rainbow-headed angel. Divine covenant. The rainbow is a symbol of God's covenant with humanity, as depicted in Genesis 9:13-16. In the context of the angel, the rainbow may symbolize God's faithfulness to his promises and his enduring covenantal relationship with his people. Authority and majesty. The imagery of the angel with a rainbow upon his head signifies his authority and majesty. Just as a rainbow is a dazzling and awe-inspiring sight, the angel's appearance conveys his exalted status and divine power. Connection with creation. The rainbow is a natural phenomenon that occurs in the sky, often after rain. It serves as a reminder of God's creative power and sovereignty over the natural world. The presence of the rainbow on the angel's head may symbolize his connection with God's creation and his role in carrying out divine purposes on earth. Harbinger of judgment or deliverance. In biblical literature, rainbows are sometimes associated with significant events, such as the flood in Genesis or divine visions in Ezekiel and Revelation. The rainbow-headed angel may serve as a harbinger of impending judgment or deliverance, signaling divine intervention in human affairs. Messenger of hope. Rainbows are often viewed as symbols of hope and renewal, particularly after times of trial or suffering. The presence of the rainbow on the angel's head may signify his role as a messenger of hope, bringing reassurance and encouragement to God's people amidst challenging circumstances. Prophetic significance. In the context of the book of Revelation, which is filled with prophetic imagery and symbolism, the rainbow-headed angel may represent a prophetic figure tasked with delivering a message or executing God's plans for the future. Overall, the symbolism of the rainbow-headed angel in Revelation is multifaceted, encompassing themes of covenant, authority, creation, judgment, hope, and prophecy. It serves as a powerful and evocative symbol within the apocalyptic vision of John, conveying divine truths and insights to the reader. The passage Genesis 9:13-16 mentions an everlasting covenant. What is this everlasting covenant? Where are there cross-references in the KJV Bible that describe this everlasting covenant? In Genesis 9:13-16, God establishes an everlasting covenant with Noah and all living creatures on earth, symbolized by the rainbow. This covenant promises that God will never again destroy the earth with a flood and serves as a sign of his enduring faithfulness and mercy toward his creation. Cross-references to this everlasting covenant can be found throughout the Bible, affirming its significance and continuity in God's relationship with humanity. Here are some key cross-references. Isaiah 54:9-10, For this is as the waters of Noah unto me, for as I have sworn that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth, so have I sworn that I would not be wroth with thee, nor rebuke thee. For the mountains shall depart, and the hills be removed, but my kindness shall not depart from thee, neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, saith the Lord that hath mercy on thee. This passage compares God's covenant with Israel to his covenant with Noah, emphasizing the assurance of his everlasting kindness and peace. Jeremiah 33:20-21, Thus saith the Lord, If ye can break my covenant of the day, and my covenant of the night, and that there should not be day and night in their season, then may also my covenant be broken with David my servant. That he should not have a son to reign upon his throne, and with the Levites the priests, my ministers. This passage highlights the unbreakable nature of God's covenant, using the consistency of day and night as a metaphor for his enduring faithfulness. Hebrews 13:20, Now the God of peace, that brought again from the dead our Lord Jesus, that great shepherd of the sheep, through the blood of the everlasting covenant. This verse refers to Jesus as the mediator of the everlasting covenant, indicating its fulfillment and perpetuity through his sacrificial death and resurrection. Isaiah 55:3, Incline your ear, and come unto me, hear, and your soul shall live, and I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David. Here, God promises to make an everlasting covenant with his people, extending his steadfast love and mercy to them. These cross-references affirm the enduring nature of God's covenant established with Noah, emphasizing his faithfulness, steadfast love, and unchanging promises throughout history. Please create a summary, story, or timeline that re-explains the KJV Book of Revelation account of the rainbow-headed angel. Please explain things in simple terms if possible. In the Book of Revelation, the rainbow-headed angel appears in chapter 10. Here's a simplified summary of this account. The arrival of the angel. John, the author of Revelation, sees a mighty angel descending from heaven, surrounded by clouds. The angel has a rainbow upon his head, his face shines like the sun, and his feet are like pillars of fire. The proclamation of the angel. The angel holds a small, open book in his hand. He stands with one foot on the sea and the other on the land, symbolizing his authority over both realms. With a loud voice like a roaring lion, the angel cries out, causing 7 thunders to speak. However, John is told not to write down what they say. The oath of the angel. The angel raises his hand towards heaven and swears by God, who created the heavens, the earth, the sea, and everything in them. He declares that there will be no more delay, indicating that the time for God's plan to be fulfilled is at hand. The revelation of the mystery. The angel announces that when the 7th angel begins to sound his trumpet, the mystery of God will be fulfilled, as he declared to his prophets. This mystery likely refers to the final unfolding of God's plan for redemption and judgment. Overall significance. The rainbow-headed angel symbolizes God's authority, faithfulness, and imminent fulfillment of his purposes. His proclamation underscores the urgency of the end times and the certainty of God's final judgment and redemption. In simple terms, the rainbow-headed angel serves as a powerful messenger from God, declaring that the time for his final plan to be revealed and fulfilled is near. What is the symbolism behind the rainbow-headed angel having feet that are like pillars of fire? The symbolism of the rainbow-headed angel having feet like pillars of fire in the book of Revelation carries several possible interpretations. Strength and stability. Pillars are often associated with strength and stability, providing support for structures. In this context, the angel's feet being like pillars of fire may symbolize his firm and unwavering stance, emphasizing his authority and stability in carrying out God's purposes. Divine presence. Fire is frequently used as a symbol of God's presence and holiness throughout the Bible. The angel's feet being like pillars of fire may suggest that he stands in the presence of God, representing his divine authority and power. Purification and judgment. Fire is also associated with purification and judgment. The image of pillars of fire could signify the angel's role in executing God's judgment upon the earth or purifying his people. Guidance and illumination. Fire can serve as a source of light and guidance in the darkness. The angel's feet being like pillars of fire may symbolize his role in leading and illuminating the way for God's people, particularly in times of spiritual darkness or confusion. Transformation. Fire is often associated with transformation and renewal. The angel's feet being like pillars of fire may represent his role in bringing about transformative change in accordance with God's will, whether through judgment, purification, or spiritual renewal. Overall, the symbolism of the angel's feet being like pillars of fire underscores his divine authority, presence, and transformative power in fulfilling God's purposes in the book of Revelation. Are there other KJV Bible references to pillars of fire? Yes, There are other references to pillars of fire in the KJV Bible. Here are a couple of examples. Exodus 13:21-22, and the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud, to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire, to give them light, to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. In this passage, during the Exodus from Egypt, God led the Israelites through the wilderness with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. The pillar of fire provided light and guidance for the Israelites in the darkness. Nehemiah 9:12, Moreover thou leddest them in the day by a cloudy pillar, and in the night by a pillar of fire, to give them light in the way wherein they should go. This verse recounts the same event as Exodus 13. Highlighting God's guidance and provision for his people during their journey in the wilderness. These references to pillars of fire in the Old Testament emphasize God's presence, guidance, and protection for his people, particularly during times of darkness or uncertainty. They serve as powerful symbols of divine leadership and provision throughout biblical history. Are there more references? There are no additional references to pillars of fire in the KJV Bible beyond Exodus 13:21-22 and Nehemiah 9:12. These passages recount the miraculous phenomenon of God leading the Israelites through the wilderness with a pillar of fire by night, symbolizing his presence, guidance, and protection. Please provide the verse, or verses, where John hears 7 thunders and is told not to write them down. The verses where John hears the 7 thunders and is told not to write them down are found in Revelation 10:3-4 in the KJV Bible. Revelation 10:3-4. 3 And cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roareth, and when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. 4 And when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not. These verses describe John hearing the voices of the 7 thunders but being instructed by a voice from heaven not to write down what they said. This emphasizes the mysterious and undisclosed nature of the information conveyed by the 7 thunders. Are there any other KJV Bible cross-references to thundering voices, similar to those experienced by John? Yes, there are other references to thundering voices in the KJV Bible. Here are a few examples. Exodus 19:16, And it came to pass on the 3rd day in the morning, that there were thunders and lightnings, and a thick cloud upon the mount. And the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. This verse describes the thundering voices heard by the Israelites at Mount Sinai when God descended upon the mountain in fire. Job 37:4-5, After it a voice roareth, he thundereth with the voice of his excellency, and he will not stay them when his voice is heard. God thundereth marvelously with his voice, great things doth he, which we cannot comprehend. These verses in the book of Job speak of God's thundering voice, which demonstrates his power and greatness. Psalm 18:13, The Lord also thundered in the heavens, and the highest gave his voice, hailstones and coals of fire. Here, the psalmist describes God's thundering voice as a manifestation of his authority and might. Psalm 29:3-9, This entire psalm is a poetic depiction of the power and majesty of God's voice, which is likened to thunder. Verses 3-9 specifically mention the thunderous voice of the Lord as it shakes the wilderness and breaks the cedars of Lebanon. These cross-references illustrate the motif of thundering voices in the KJV Bible, often associated with the presence and power of God. Similarly, in Revelation, the thundering voices heard by John signify divine authority and the awe-inspiring nature of heavenly phenomena. Is there any popular commentary or biblical references which give clues as to what the 7 thundering voices said to John? While there is no explicit biblical explanation of what the 7 thunders said to John in the book of Revelation, various commentators and theologians have offered interpretations and speculations based on the context and themes of the book. However, it's important to note that these interpretations are speculative and not explicitly stated in the Bible. Here are a few perspectives. Silence as mystery. Some commentators suggest that the decision to withhold the content of the seven thunders serves to underscore the mystery and incomprehensibility of God's plans and judgments. Just as John is instructed not to write down what he hears, it may symbolize the hidden aspects of God's purposes that are beyond human understanding. Symbolic significance. Others interpret the seven thunders as symbolic of various future events or judgments that are to come, but the specific details are not revealed in the text. The number 7 often signifies completeness or perfection in biblical symbolism, suggesting that the thunders represent a complete or comprehensive message from God. Unrecorded prophecy. Some speculate that the content of the seven thunders may have been a specific prophecy or revelation intended for John's understanding but not meant to be recorded for the benefit of future readers. This interpretation suggests that the information was relevant to John's immediate context but not necessarily applicable or comprehensible to later generations. Mystical interpretations. Certain mystical or allegorical interpretations of Revelation propose that the seven thunders contain esoteric or hidden truths that are only revealed to those with spiritual insight or understanding. These interpretations often emphasize the symbolic and spiritual dimensions of the text rather than literal or historical meanings. Overall, while there is no definitive explanation of what the seven thunders said to John in the book of Revelation, various interpretations offer insights into the symbolic and theological significance of this enigmatic passage. It remains a mysterious aspect of the book that continues to provoke speculation and contemplation among scholars and readers alike.